Have you ever looked at the Hindi script and just felt kind of overwhelmed? Yeah, me too. But today, we're going to change that. And forget about boring flashcards. No, we're going to crack the code. Because behind all those beautiful curves is an incredibly elegant, super scientific system.
All right, so where do we even begin? Well, to really get Hindi, you have to start at the very beginning, with the script itself. It's called Devanagari, and trust me, it's holding a pretty amazing secret.
And it's not just me who thinks so. This quote really hits it on the head. See, Devanagari isn't just some random bunch of squiggles. It is a masterpiece of phonetic science, something that was perfected ages ago. Stick with me here, and I promise you're going to see exactly why. So, what's the big deal with Devanagari? What makes it so special? Well, it all comes down to this one word, alpha syllabary. Now, don't worry, don't let the fancy term throw you off. It's a really simple idea that honestly unlocks the entire system. Think about it like this. In English, vowels and consonants are kind of equal partners, right? But in Devanagari? Oh no. The consonants are the stars of the show. They get all the attention. Okay, here it is. This is the master key. If you take away just one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Every single consonant has a short ah sound built right into it. It's like a buy one, get one free deal. So this character here, it's not just K, it's Ka. That little built-in vowel, that's the secret handshake to the entire script. Okay, so that naturally leads to the next big question, right? If every consonant already has an A sound packed in, how on earth do you write an E or an O or an I? Well, my friend, this is where the genius design really starts to show itself. So first things first, Hindi has 11 main vowels, and each one has its own full independent form, the ones you're looking at right now. Now, you only use these big full versions when a word starts with a vowel, or if the vowel is just hanging out on its own. It's pretty straightforward, really. But what happens when that vowel comes after a consonant? This is where the magic happens. It totally transforms into a little add-on symbol called a mantra. I love this analogy. Think of mantras as little outfits that you put on the consonant to change its sound. Look here. We start with ka, then we add a matra and it becomes ka, then ki, then gi, and ku. See that? Same consonant, just a whole new wardrobe of sounds. Pretty cool, huh?
All right, let's get into the consonants themselves. Now, I know what you're thinking. When you first look at them, it just seems like a whole bunch of random shapes you have to memorize. But it's not random at all. What you're looking at is basically a scientific map of your own mouth.
Seriously, check this out. The whole system is organized by where in your mouth you make the sound. It literally starts way in the back of your throat, moves forward to the roof of your mouth, then to your teeth, and ends right at your lips. It's an actual physical map of speech. Okay, I know this table looks a little intense, but trust me, it is pure genius. Let's just walk through it. So each row you see, that's a place in your mouth moving from the back to the front. The top row is way back in your throat. Go on, say ka. Feel where that sound comes from? Now jump down to the bottom row. That's your lips. Say pa. Total difference, right? And the columns, that's how you make the sound. Some have a little puff of air, some don't, some use your vocal cords, some don't. Try this. Put your hand right in front of your mouth. Now say ka. Not much air, right? Now say ka. Whoa, feel that puff of air? That's aspiration. And this entire incredible system is captured perfectly in this one grid. It's not an alphabet, it's more like a scientific instrument. Okay, so now we've got the building blocks, right? We have our consonants with that built-in ah sound, and we have the matras to change the vowels. So let's start putting them together and see how we actually build words. Okay, let's take a look at a real example. This is the matra for the short oo sound. See how it's just this neat little curl that hooks right onto the bottom of the consonant? It's always the same, totally predictable. And that's how you get simple, clean words like cool and sun. And here's another one, the E matra. It's just a single, clean stroke that sits right on top of that horizontal line. You know, the one that looks like a little clothesline connecting all the letters. And whether it's in a word like kela or rel, that little stroke is doing the exact same thing. It's just beautifully logical. All right, let's look at a word I bet you've heard before, namaste. Okay, so we can see the na and we can see the ma, but what is going on with that funny-looking half S in the middle? How do you handle it when you have two consonants smashed together like the st sound with no vowel to separate them?
Well, that brings us to the final and really important piece of our puzzle, combining consonants. So how do you shut off that default sound? Well, there are basically two ways. The first is using this little mark underneath called a halant. It's like a little off switch. But the more common way, the way you'll see most of the time, is to form a conjunct. And that's just a fancy word for mashing the two letters together to create a brand new shape. Now, yeah, you do have to learn what these combined forms look like, but they're not totally random. A lot of the time you can see the logic. Usually, the first letter kind of drops its vertical line and just snuggles right up next to the second one. This is how you get those beautiful, efficient, flowing words. It's what makes the script look so connected.
So the next time you see Hindi written out, I hope you don't just see a bunch of symbols anymore. I hope you see what it really is, a map of the human voice, just engineered to perfection. Think about it. The next time you talk, just feel where the sounds are coming from. You can feel that ka sound way in the back and the pa sound right on your lips. And to think that this ancient script figured all of that out and built it right into the writing. It really makes you wonder, right? What other amazing hidden logic is just waiting for us to find in all